So you're shooting your video today.
Yes.
You normally shoot very steamy, sexy videos.
I know. Now I'm cutting back on that.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
This was not so steamy and sexy?
No, it's a little bit. Well, I actually do. I want to make it. It's a sexy song in a way. It's a sexy track. So I want to make it a little bit. You know, you can always push a video, make it as sexy. I always try to make it as sexy as possible. You can always go back on the edit.
Right. So this was going to have a little bit of the sex thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit, you know, not, as long as it's done with good taste.
You can't help it with your eyes. See, you can't help it with his eyes. It's just naturally going to be that way, right?
I guess.
You can't help it. And I understand you wrote the majority of the songs on the new album.
Like in my prior albums, you know, I mean, probably like 90% of it, you know, I've co-written, non-written with other people.
You've been busy.
Yeah, I know. Actually, I've been busy making this album for the last 3 years. It's been a tough album. It's been a long, long time.
I know, 3 years. I was telling you, making your fans suffer.
Well, the last
waiting so long.
2004.
I know. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Now, like you said, I'm married and pregnant.
I know.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Why'd you make us wait so long?
I felt like I needed to. I'd been singing for 9 years, and in 9 years I'd come out with 7 albums. That's
a lot of work.
I felt like I needed. When I first did my first album, I had 3 years to make that album, to write that album. So I needed time to write this album, to get inspired. And as the album kept on going, every 6 months the album would take on a different direction. So when I thought I was done, I wasn't.
So in the lyrics, there's a lot of the lyrics speak about love and relationships and how they can happen so quickly. Do you think the relationships like happen in a flash, like that you immediately know when you're supposed to be with somebody?
They happen in a flash and they end in a flash.
That's not good. The end part.
And they're difficult too. You know, they're relationships are. You know, when you turn on the radio, I think 90% of the music is about love, or falling out of love, or something that has to do with a relationship. It's the one thing that we can all relate to, no matter what age, no matter what color, no matter what nationality.
Right. So you think they can happen quickly? Do you fall in love quickly?
No, I don't think I fall in love quickly.
You take your time.
I guess, if you want to say that. You know?
Well, when you say, though, that they can happen in flashes.
I'm not hard to get.
You're not. No. You don't play hard to get, huh?
No, not even. The other way around. I'm easy.
The girls out there going, oh, yay, we like that. But you think that they're over quickly. Is that what you mean?
No, I mean, you know, it's tough, I think, maintaining a healthy relationship. I don't know a lot about relationships, but, you know, the little that I know is it's not easy.
Yeah.
And it's not easy in showbiz, but it's not, I mean, I don't think it's easy, period, whether you do whatever you do.
As a show business makes it even more difficult, I think.
Maybe a little more difficult, but still, it's not easy.
Yeah. Do you consider yourself a romantic kind of guy?
In my music, I do, and I feel like I am at times, but you know, it's.
Like, what's the most romantic thing you've ever done?
I don't know. For me, but from what I consider for me, it's more who you're with, not what you're going to or what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like for me, romantic is going to the movies, going out to eat dinner, something very simple.
Like a great conversation.
Yeah.
That's romantic.
Very,
did you know that number one?
Romantic.
Yes.
Yes.
Did
you never thought about that?
It's very true. Actually, the number one erotic zone of a woman is her mind, they say.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm teaching you something. You're supposed to see. You say you knew that.
Oh.
What do you think it was?
I don't know.
I'll get you in trouble now, right? The first album that you did, we're talking about this being the new material since 2003, which your fans get kind of antsy. Were you ever worried about that, waiting so long to produce something else? Or do you think that, you know, when they're wanting for something, it kind of makes it even better?
If I would be lying if I told you that I didn't think about that, because sometimes you do, and you say, God, maybe people are going to forget about me. But it came a point where I made a conscious decision to make sure that the album was as good as it can be. You know, that's why I wrote like 45 songs that I wanted to pick. Every album I do, I usually write like 15 songs or even 12 songs, and out of those songs I pick 10. This one, I had so many songs, so hopefully that makes the album a better album, and more stuff to pick and choose. And I never had that chance to do it except in my first album when I was like, which I did from the age of 15 to 18.
Well, this means you can put out another one really soon if you have more songs.
Well, I picked I picked my 12 favorite songs.
You did.
So the other ones I kind of forget about.
How do you go about the selection when you want your favorite song?
You just go with your heart. You go with what really got me in the beginning, you know, because you do get sometimes numb when you listen to them so many times, but I go with my first gut feel.
Yeah. You've kept such a low profile in the time that you've had off. How have you been able to do that? Because, I mean, I know we see the stories here and there, but it's, you know, you've been I know you prefer that too.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like having a private life. I think the more you give, the more you sacrifice sometimes. And at the end of the day, what I love doing is music. It's not about my personal life. It's not about. I mean, I understand you can talk a little bit about it, but
Yeah.
you know how it is. You give a little bit, then you got to give a little more. You
True.
end up sacrificing too much at the end.